Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be ranking the best Mega Evolutions in Pokémon Champions based on the video game championship format, Regulation MA, and we're just going to kick things off immediately with Venusaur. And Venusaur is one of those options, in my opinion, that very rarely the non-Mega Evolution feels a little bit better into the metagame than the Mega. However, this is one of those scenarios. Right? With the chlorophyll ability before it mega evolves, you actually take advantage of the sun teams, and that's generally the version you see these Venusaurs use. However, I still think the mega, whether it becomes a secondary option for your team, it definitely has nice stats. It gets the thick fat ability and can definitely be a very nice secondary mega. I wouldn't use this Pokemon as like the only mega evolution on your team. However, I definitely think it adds that nice second layer of a backup mega evolution sort of thing to a team if you needed something like that. Not the best option in the metagame, but definitely still a decent option if you're choosing like you want to use it. Charizard Y. I'm going to put it in meta defining for now. And not that I think it belongs at the top of this tier or at the top of the top, but I do believe that if you do not have an answer to Charizard, you are losing immediately, and there's not much you can do. Like sometimes, you don't have a dedicated answer to something, but it's not enough to really like sweep your team. You can still kind of get around it. Charizard Y is one of those Pokemon that if you do not have a dedicated answer towards, you are probably getting swept and never winning that matchup outside of getting extremely lucky. So therefore, in my opinion, it is meta defining, but I don't think it's quite with the other guys that I'm going to put up there, but we'll get into that in the recap at the end. Mega Charizard X. And I think similar to Venusaur, I think this is one where it's not quite at the top of its game. It's not quite at the top of the meta, but it's still incredibly strong, especially under the right settings. If we can get in maybe a redirector, get a Dragon Dance going, this Pokemon is actually capable of sweeping entire teams. However, there is better Dragon types, I think, but it's still a solid option. And it's definitely usable over the Charizard Y, especially potentially as like surprise factor if you're using it on ladder, right? If your opponent is expecting Charizard Y and all of a sudden you go Charizard X and Mega Evolve, that definitely gives you that element of surprise and maybe giving you that few extra turns while your opponent adjusts. Obviously, it doesn't work that way in open team sheets. However, on ladder, which is primarily where we are right now, Charizard X still very strong. Even in open team sheets, it will be good because your opponent has to respect it. It has good stats, and it's got a good move pool to utilize its typing. Mega Blastoise, guys, I don't know where to go with this. Okay, I feel like it should definitely be here just because I want to complete the Kanto trio. But like at the same time, I feel like it might be down here one tier lower. Right, it gets some interesting things, like you get the ability to set up with a potential Shell Smash if you choose. You have a lot of really nice bulk as well. That means you're probably not dying. And as we talked about in yesterday's tier list, bulky waters are generally going to be pretty good in this meta. I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. I think it's very usable. Once again, I don't think it is a primary mega, but it's definitely a mega that if you want to build around, you absolutely could. But I wouldn't mind having a better mega here with it as well. But I think overall, probably still a very decent Pokemon. Mega Beedrill, guys, I think it's fun on meme teams. But outside of that, I don't think its typing matches up well right now. I don't think its stats really catch up to any of the other Pokemon on this list. It's definitely just down here in the Y category. Once again, guys, anything that I put on this list, this is one person's list. If you think it's cool and you want to run it, by all means, have fun. But in terms of competitive viability, I don't think it's very good. Mega Pidgeot, I'm putting it in the exact same tier. I just don't know why you would run this thing outside of just, I want to have fun because Pidgeot's my favorite Pokemon. Which, honestly, I respect, but not enough to rank it any higher on this tier list. Clefable, I'm going to leave it in Prove Me Wrong. I personally think you are wasting your Mega Evolution slot if you are using the Mega Clefable. Unless something new comes out and some sort of development that I haven't seen based on how to use Mega Clefable, because I haven't seen anything like that. So if someone innovates with Mega Clefable, definitely potential to prove me wrong. I think it's got some interesting options, But right now, I don't know why you would ever use this over the non-Mega version. Like the Venusaur earlier, right? I see reasons why you would use Mega Venusaur over the regular one. Clefable, though, to me, it just feels like you're probably wasting a Mega slot. But it might be decent. There's something there. I don't know. Alakazam, similar to these guys, I don't know why you would do it. It does have a nice speed tier where it ends up being faster than Mega Gengar. So that's the only reason I'm going to knock it up one tier. Just strictly based off that immediate speed stat, which I think is very, very nice for the current metagame. So definitely something to keep in mind there. But overall, there's probably not much past that. I believe in Mega Slowbro just because of the defense stat. I think you are better off doing most of what you do with Mega Slowbro with the non-Mega Slowbro. However, I think adding the extra defense you get with this piece and the lack of items in the game, there could be a scenario where, your leftovers are taken, your citrus berries are taken, and, well, I want to run a Slowbro. So instead of, having that health recovery over time with those items, you're just going to say, I'm going to just become instantly bulkier and just rely on pure bulk for survivability. I think there's a world there. It probably might go down a tier. Maybe I'm overrating Mega Slowbro, but I don't think it's the worst Pokemon you could be using on this list. Prove me wrong, guys. You're going to have to do that with this Mega Victory Bell here. It just doesn't seem much. I would have loved to see it get a better ability. Now, not that Innards Out is necessarily bad, but it feels like when I have that ability, you want that Pokemon to be dying. When I am using my Mega Evolution slot, I don't want my Mega Evolution to be dying. Like, I just want to be keeping that piece on the board. I want to be keeping that piece alive, and I don't think Victory Bell is the piece that I want to be using to, like, sacrifice for a kill. It's an interesting trade-off, but I don't see anything too fancy with it. So it's staying down here in the Prove Me Wrong category. Mega Gengar, though, coming right up here at the top. It is still at the top of his game, guys. And honestly, just because of the trapping ability. Shadow Tag is so good. You're allowed to do a lot of things. Not only does it enable setup, it also enables stuff like Perish Song stuff. I hate to bring it up because I know a lot of people hate playing against Perish Song and stuff like that. But overall, it is a very, very viable meta. Perish Song or not, just locking your opponent in and taking out that element of the game on its own, regardless of its stats, would be decent. Now you add in how fast it is, its move pool. It is a very, very strong Pokemon. Base 170 special attack. It's going to be very meta defining. You're going to have some answers to Mega Gengar if you want to be successful in this metagame. Mega Metagross, I'm dropping it down a tier. If this would have been any old Mega Evolution format, it's right up there with those guys. But frankly, I think it's outclassed right now. So back in the old Mega Evolution formats, we didn't have what we had today. We didn't have like optimized Pokemon. Kang, obviously incredibly strong, and it's still going to stay an incredibly strong Pokemon. My main issue with it is, right, you wanted it for a decently fast fake out. We have faster fake out users now that are more optimal, right? We have stuff like Sneasler, which not only is faster than it, fills the fake out role, probably pressures a KO onto Mega Kangaskhan, and just has better typing, right? Normal doesn't get me anywhere outside of just brute forcing my way through things, which is cool. And once again, it is still a good Pokemon. It just feels like it was only so good before because there was lack of other things in the meta. But now we have different Pokemon, we have different pieces, and it's definitely a different metagame. Still a very strong option. Now, hear me out on Starmie, okay? I think we're getting close to bad. Maybe I just have a thing about water psychic types. I don't know. But I think we're going right here in this tier. It has some interesting potential, and Pure Power is incredibly funny. Okay? I don't think it's bad, but I really don't think it's good. Right? Pure Power is cool. It hits incredibly hard, and if you really want to be funny, you can actually skill swap your Pure Power onto another Pokemon, which I think is cool. But I think it's a little bit more gimmicky than it is like a reliable piece. So do I think Starmie may have potential? Yeah, it's got something, but I definitely don't think it is anywhere close to these other Megas that are above it right now. Mega Pinsir, I think you're close to getting bad. It's interesting because it gets Aerialite, and flying coverage is good. Flying coverage has always been good, and it will continue to be good. Now, I don't think this is the Pokemon you want to be putting flying coverage on, but there's maybe a world where Mega Pinsir is good. I don't think it's good. You're probably at the bottom of this tier, if not leaning towards the prove me wrong tier. But I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt here. I'm going to throw it up one. Gyarados, I think it goes in here with its pals Venusaur and Charizard here, guys. It's a decent Mega Evolution. My issue is I don't know if I'm actually gaining anything from adding the Dark typing on my Gyarados when I could just have a better Dark type, right? Obviously, Gyarados alone, pretty good, right? You get some Dragon Dances set up, and then you can Mega Evolve, and you do a lot of damage. You get out of the 4 times Electric weakness. It is inherently a good Pokemon. In terms of matching up into the metagame right now, and where I really want to be justifying using my Mega Stone, I don't think it's going to be on a Gyarados. However, I think there is room in the metagame for, you know, that potential setup sweeper, and Gyarados definitely has the tools to do that. Haven't seen too many people try it out or tried it out myself yet, but it's got stats, and I do believe in it. Mega Aerodactyl, I think I'm going to go down here. I'm going to drop it 1 tier. My main concern with Mega Aerodactyl is I am losing my Mega Slot, or using my Mega Slot, I should say, for a piece that its main stab that I'm wanting to be clicking doesn't get boosted by its ability. All of my main moves are actually just inaccurate, and it doesn't feel good. Aerodactyl, regular Aerodactyl, however, right, it gets the Unnerve ability, which is incredible right now when most of the items are just berries. Turning those off is great, you know, if it wasn't like glitched in the game, but that's fine. When they fix that, regular Aerodactyl with Unnerve is going to be phenomenal. Unnerve, Tailwind, potential Wide Guard support as well. I just don't know if you need to use a Mega Slot on it. And I don't think you actually gain more from running Mega Aerodactyl. That's not just like something you can get with regular Aerodactyl. The Mega itself is theoretically better, but I don't think it's better into the metagame than regular Aerodactyl is right now. So it's staying down here. Mega Dragonite, guys, it's a solid option, and I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people, and I've seen a lot of 50-50 takes on Mega Dragonite. Some people love it, some people hate it. I personally don't love it, but I will say it is a gigantic wall of stats. Okay? This thing has stats everywhere. It is going to be very difficult to take down, and because of those stats, it's going to be decent, right? It's going to fit into the meta. Dragon Flying is just a really decent typing, always has been, and right, multi-skill is good. Make sure you take that first hit, and then you get stuff like you can use it on rain, you can go Hurricane, you can go Thunder, you can go Draco Meteor, and that's probably where you're going to go most of the time with this Dragonite, because rain is looking for that sweeper, right? The rain composition is looking for that big piece that's tough to take down and can punish. In theory, this fits that bill, right? They've lost Archelodon, or the normal benefits of Archelodon, like with no Assault Vest, no body press on that Mon, so technically, the rain teams are really going to appreciate Mega Dragonite. I feel like it's exploitable on a rain team, but overall, I think it's definitely got the stats to be up here. It's a very good option, and it's already seen some decent success. Meganium is probably decent. I haven't used too much of it, but the way that ability works, it does function the way every single one of us expected it to function. Meganium is effectively always in Sun, and that is very, very unique. Because especially in a format where there is a lot of Weather Wars, being in Sun permanently is incredible. You can put this on your own rain team, and you will still be in Sun. You can put this on, you know, a sand team, and you will still be in Sun, strictly for your Meganium. And I think that is very, very cool. You get interesting coverage. The fairy coverage is never a bad thing. Dazzling Gleam is good. But more importantly, you know, you get to charge Solar Beams. You have base 120 grass move just whenever you want it. You don't have to wait for the charge. That's phenomenal, right? You also get Weather Ball, which is just a fire move, right? So that is always going to be a base 100 fire move, getting a sun boost, even though the sun doesn't exist. But the sun exists to Mega Meganium. So really, really cool coverage options there. It's got some decent stats. It's meant to be bulky, kind of that utility piece. I'm not sure if I'm wasting a Mega Slot on it, But hey, you know what? It's super viable. I'm not gonna go tell you Meganium is bad. It's definitely a decent mod. For Alligator, we're going down one tier. I just don't see the niche for it in the meta right now. We have so many better water types. We have so many better dragon types. It's not a bad mod. I would have liked to see it be able to abuse that ability a little bit better outside of something like, Body Slam. But, it's usable and it's decent. It just doesn't feel like it really is, it doesn't have that X factor to me. So it's going to stay down here, but it's probably a decent mod. I don't think it's going to shape the metagame or anything like that, but it's getting pretty close to being moved down a tier as well. Ampharos, guys, just, I don't know. I've never been impressed by Mega Ampharos. It wasn't good back in the day, and I don't think it's going to be good now. You guys might be able to prove me wrong on that, but I just don't see it. Ground is such a common type. It just doesn't punish anything because it's so slow, and then even when you want to use it on a Trick Room team, it doesn't want to be there anyways. It just doesn't feel right whenever I try to use it. So it's going down. If you're an Ampharos believer, my bad. Mega Steelix, probably similar. It just doesn't do much. And honestly, I don't know too much about Steelix in this metagame. I've always thought Mega Steelix is cool. And that's about as far as it got, right? Once again, cool looking Mega, but not much more. Mega Scizor, I think, is good. I don't know how good exactly because you probably can get similar effects with just the regular Scizor. Obviously, you're not going to hit as hard, but you're not necessarily utilizing that Mega slot, which does save you options to use a different Mega and still get similar benefits. However, Mega Scizor does have very good stats. It matches up nicely into the Floette stuff just because Bullet Punch is a massive threat into that piece. Right, you get any sort of chip, and all of a sudden, Floette is threatened. It can't do anything. It's going to die to a Bullet Punch. And that is very, very beneficial when Floette is going to be a very good Pokemon. So, we're going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Once again, I think you can do similar things with regular Scizor. But Mega Scizor, I think specifically on like a rain team. Once again, those rain teams are looking for those pieces. This could be one of those pieces. Mega Heracross, guys, you guys are going to have to prove me wrong. I believe it still gets access to Skill Link. I believe that's what the ability is. But overall, it's just not good enough, guys. I just don't see it doing anything. It's got stats, but that's about it. It just doesn't have them in the right areas, in my opinion. Just not good. Mega Altaria, I think, is we're getting close to bad. Dragon Fairy is just such a unique typing that alone might be enough. Like, I have a Dragon type now that doesn't lose to other Dragon types. And I think that alone puts it up in that next tier. Just based on how strong dragons are and dragon actually being one of the answers to other dragons. Taking that away with your dragon feels pretty decent. I'm not sure if I'm an Altaria believer, but there's maybe a world where this is decent. Mega Skarmory, I'm thinking the same thing. I don't think it's like a prove me wrong tier. It's got some interesting stats. I'm less sold on like Skarmory as a whole, but I think its typing is really good and it's allowed to be that offensive threat. I definitely think there's a niche for it, right? I have trouble calling a Mega that I'm not super familiar with bad just because it's so new and I feel like maybe there is something, right? Like all of these guys down here, I have past data to go off of, right? I know they've historically done nothing, and I don't think they're going to do anything. With this Skarmory, I don't have that historical, well, it's bad, right? So I think there might be an interesting stat. It does have a nice stat line to be a sweeper, potentially. So I'm going to give it the benefit of the doubt. Once again, maybe a little bit of a wild card moving it up to this tier. Might be supposedly improve me wrong, but overall, we get to chill. Right here with the Skarmory. I think it could go down one, but I just don't see it. Houndoom, guys, you're gonna have to prove me wrong. It probably belongs in the tier below this, but dark typing is pretty good. Maybe you can hit some cool things, especially on like a weird sun team. I could maybe see it, but at that point, I feel like you just use Typhlosion instead of this. But you're gonna have to prove me wrong because it does have stats. It's an interesting mon. It can be a big, fast special sweeper. But I really don't think it's going to go anywhere in the metagame. T-Tar is going to be incredible, guys. It's going to be a solid option. I don't think it's quite meta-defining just yet. just because Tyranitar itself has so many sets in whether it's the Mega or the non-Mega. So I don't think you have to worry about Mega T-Tar being dominant in the meta, but it is going to be a very, very strong option. It's a very good Pokemon, right? Of course, it does have that 4x fighting weakness, so you definitely still bully that, and you can abuse it as well. But overall, definitely a very solid option, and it's got a lot of strong tools in its kit. Guardy. I think I have to put it in solid options. Just because I don't think... I think it just strictly because it's better than I think these guys in this tier here. Right? I might adjust it at the end when we do our recap. But right now it's going to go in there. It's a decent option. It's an interesting way to set Trick Room potentially. It's got an interesting setup piece. But it is kind of outclassed by that Floette. So... still a good Mega, still got some decent stats, especially compare it with Intimidate. You can do some cool things with Trace or Telepathy before you evolve. So you definitely got some cool things going for it. It's a decent Pokemon, probably like a secondary Mega. I don't know if it's like the best Mega in the game on its own, but as a secondary one, it's probably decent. Sableye, guys, you're going to have to prove me wrong. Sableye, he's that support guy, right? I don't like support Megas unless they are clearly very good. I don't think Sableye is that great support Mega. It's okay. I just don't see it. I am gonna go cry in a corner now because I wish my boy was good. You know, I just don't see a reason to use this support Mega when you can have just regular Sableye. And I think just Prankster is the infinitely better ability for this Pokemon. So yeah, it gets Magic Bounce. That's great. But I'd rather be the annoying one myself than shutting down opposing annoying things, if that makes sense. With a Sableye, anyways. Aggron might be decent. Aggron might actually be decent, guys. 230 base defense or whatever ridiculous it is. It gets access to Body Press now, which is something that it didn't have in the past. So coming back to this, it's got a crazy defense stat. It has filter ability, so it's going to be very difficult to take down. I might move this up a tier, but for right now, I haven't seen too many crazy results with it, but it's going to be decent. I don't absolutely hate this piece. It's interesting. Medicham, y'all are going to have to prove me wrong on Medicham. It had like that one run at I think NAIC, was it 2018, 2019? Either way, it had like one good showcase and that was pretty much it. And it's got some stats, right? Pure Power is kind of a cool ability. It just, I don't think it goes anywhere from here. This is where it sits in my opinion. It just doesn't do anything anymore. There's better fighting types. There's better psychic types now. Similar to that Kangaskhan, right? Back in the day, we didn't have that much. You know, we had to use what was available to us. But now we have faster fake outs. We have better scrappy Pokemon. We have better Pokemon that can do general damage. So it's probably staying down here and prove me wrong. Manectric, same thing, guys. No, you know what? No. I see a niche because of Lightning Rod. Not that there's that many electrics in the format, but there's still Rotom, right? So you can definitely wall the Rotom, and I think what you get is you get a cool little thing where you have Snarl and the Intimidate ability. So you can hinder Pokemon on both sides of attack, and I think that's definitely really, really cool. It's definitely at the bottom of this tier, but overall I think it's not a bad Pokemon. Just based on speed and what you're able to do with it. Camerupt is maybe interesting on like a crazy Sun team in Trick Room, but outside of that, guys, I don't really see anything for Camerupt, so it's gonna stay down here and prove me wrong. Sharpedo, just don't use it, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Just don't use it. If Water Dark, and I was complaining about Water Dark not being good enough for Gyarados, I promise you it's not good enough for Sharpedo. Mega Banette, we are not Wolf Glick. I think Wolf might be the only person to have ever seen success with Mega Banette. But because of that, I'm going to move it up a tier. But I'm telling you right now, just don't do it, guys. It's not good. Mega Tamako, I don't know enough about. Maybe it's okay. I'm going to leave it and prove me wrong. I just haven't seen what I want to see from a Mega with it. You know, I haven't seen any results from it. I think I played one on ladder and it was pretty easy to take down. Obviously, one ladder game isn't a great judgment of a Pokemon, but I haven't seen anything talk about it. I haven't seen anybody talking about, oh yeah, maybe Mega Chimecho could be good. I don't think it's great. I'm going to leave it here and prove me wrong. Give it the benefit of the doubt. Mega Absol, just don't do it, guys. It's just not real. It's just not a real Pokemon. Mega Absol Z, maybe. This one, not so much. Absol Z, of course, not legal right now, guys, so don't worry about it. Mega Glalie is going to join its friend down here. Lopunny is real. Lopunny is real. People just don't know it yet. A Mega Evolution with Scrappy, so your fighting moves can actually hit those ghost types in the metagame right now, which is kind of what the synergies are looking, right? You have the Sinistcha and you have T-Tar, and the Sinistcha beside those 4 times fighting weeks. Lopunny doesn't care about that redirection because it's still going to be able to hit those Pokemon decently hard, right? So definitely a good mon. It's got a really nice speed stat right now, and it hits pretty hard. So fake out pressure, so you can go fake out, set something up, and then you have a threat with a big Mega Evolution and whatever you set up beside it. I think Lopunny is going to be good. I don't think people are realizing just how good yet. Garchomp is bad. I just don't see the reason why they were like, it's going to lose 10 points of speed. And that's really my only issue with it. If it didn't lose those 10 points of speed, it would probably be usable. But I don't know why they did that to him. Lucario is an interesting one. I don't think it does anything in terms of typing in this metagame, so I'm going to keep it a little lower. I might arguably be sleeping on this one. But I think overall, it's just not at that level with these guys up here. It just doesn't feel like it's strong enough. Lucario Z. I mean, is Lucario Z even legal? I don't know why I put this in legal. Give me 1 second. Okay, it's not legal. We're back. Goodbye. Mega Abomasnow, guys. It's just... Okay. I was going to say it's strictly worse than Frostlass. But it does have the interesting benefit of being the slower Mega to Mega Evolve. Meaning you can actually win the Weather War. So I'm going to go ahead and put it in... I don't think it's good. But it's going to be not improvement. It should be improved me wrong. It's not that great, guys. It's not horrid. But I don't think I can justify putting it any higher. It's just not good enough. Mega Gallade. Once again, just use the regular one. I just don't see anything from Mega Gallade. It loses the sharpness when it goes into the Mega Evolution. So, like, it just feels strictly worse than the non-Mega. Maybe there's some cool text with it, but I just don't see it. Frostlass is definitely at the bottom of the solid options tier. Frostlass is good. It's fast, it sets its own weather, and it spams Blizzard. And it could set Auroraville if you want. It is a good piece. The problem with this piece, in my opinion right now, is it is probably losing every Weather War, right? If you Mega Evolve at the same time as a Charizard, Charizard is getting Sun Up. If you Mega Evolve at the same time as a T-Tar, T-Tar is getting Sand back up, right? Because you're so fast, that is kind of a bit of a detriment. So it takes a little bit more positioning to actually utilize. However, I don't think it's a bad Pokemon. It definitely has the stats, and it's actually a pretty solid piece. Just trickier to find a way to get that weather up than some of the other Megas. Emboar, you guys are going to have to prove me wrong, guys. I don't think Mold Breaker does enough for it. It's got some cool things, but outside of that, it's just not worth it. Excadrill, I think it's decent, but only if you don't have another item for your Excadrill. Like, I just don't see where you're using Mega Excadrill over the non-Mega one. Like, yeah, okay, cool, you hit through Protect, but you're hitting through Protect at the cost of an item slot and the cost of your Sand Rush ability, which I feel like is just a lot more niche, similar to the Venusaur, right? Yeah, you get a lot of cool things when you Mega Evolve, but the ability that makes you kind of, you lose, right? It's a trade-off, right? So, is it bad? No. But I definitely don't think it's like at the top, you know? I don't think it's like a solid option. So, it's coming down here. It's got a decent mon. It's still a good mon. It just, I don't know, it loses what makes it. Audino, guys, I should have just not ranked this. It's going down there. Chandelure as the Mega. So there was a really funny tweet. I'll put it on the screen. Pretty much day one when everybody found out it got Infiltrator. And it was the only thing Mega Chandelure is infiltrating is table 500. And I still strongly agree with that. So it's going down here and to prove me wrong. I see nothing about it, guys. I see nothing. Mega Greninja, I know nothing about this Pokemon. I'm going to be real. I'm going to be so for real with you guys. I know nothing about this. Once again, I just don't think it's solid enough. Like, I feel like I would have heard something about Mega Greninja had it been any better, right? Like, we've got people talking about Aggron. We've got people talking about Skarmory. Not a single soul have I heard talking about Mega Greninja. So it's going down here. Mega Floette, one of the best Pokemon in the game. It's Xerneas Jr. It is going to be very, very strong in the metagame. And you're going to see it up here. The only thing I don't like about it is its matchup into Charizard and Gengar. But you can patch that because Gengar and Charizard tend to be the frailer Pokemon. And when you're as bulky as Mega Floette, you can patch it with, you know, some faster, more offensive Pokemon that can punish the Gengar and the Charizard. And all of a sudden, you match up pretty well into everything else. That's for sure. Meowstic is bad. Don't use it. Dragalge, I mean, maybe. It's just not good, guys. It's just not there. I wish Crab was better. It's an interesting Trick Room sweeper, so I'll leave it in here with like the Slowbros. It's just not where it needs to be at all. So it's gonna go down there. It's got good stats. It's like Ice Rider, but you have to hold an item for it now, I guess, and it doesn't have a spread move. So on its own, it's not great. Maybe there's a cool Trick Room team for it. Definitely a fun mon to use, but definitely not a master mon or a higher mon. Okay. I don't know if this is real, because I think it's super gimmicky with Mega Hawlucha, because the entire gimmick is that you are going to click entrainment, giving your ability to your partner Pokemon. And your ability is No Guard. So you are going to give No Guard to a Pokemon with a one-hit knockout move. And that's cool, that's fun, and that's cute. I just don't know how reliable or how consistent that is going to be in a metagame. Do I think you're going to be able to get some wins with it? Absolutely. Is it any better than here? I don't know if I can reasonably rank this any higher. So I'm going to say no, it's not any better than where we're at. So it's going to stay right here. Glimmora, I have belief in. It's probably somewhere in this tier. Strictly being, it's 1 point faster than Mega Charizard. Why? And I think that actually gives it something to utilize. Right? That is a Pokemon that now takes down two of the top tiers here, the Floette and the Charizard. Right? You get a cool ability before you Mega Evolve as well. Putting up Toxic Spikes is still a pretty good ability. It's a slower paced meta, so poisoning things is never going to necessarily be a bad thing. So I think overall, there's something here for it. I don't think it's amazing, but Glimmora, it's decent. And the last one is the Scovillain. Guys, I just don't know about Scovillain. I don't think it has the stats. Its ability is very funny. You know, burning anything that hits it is pretty cool. But once again, similar to the Hawlucha, I don't know if it's more than a gimmick. I don't know if that's a reliable strategy. Once again, you can do cool things, but that's about it. So, once again, I think these two here, they're just here strictly on the fact that it's like, well, hey, you can do cool things. Okay, that's great, but I don't know how reliable that really is into the metagame. Alright guys, here we are in the final version of the tier list now. And of course, guys, everything, just to recap, on Prove Me Wrong or up, I would not be afraid of trying out and using. If you think something down here is good on your team specifically, hey, by all means, go for it, give it a shot. I don't think they're bad Pokemon. The ones that I do think are bad Pokemon, or that just have all of their viability usable in one of the other pieces, are down here in the Y. Doesn't mean you don't use these guys for fun, because you guys, we do have to have fun in this game. So you know what, if your favorite Pokemon is Mega Sharpedo, go make a Mega Sharpedo work, you know? Stuff like that, where these Pokemon probably not competitively viable, but if you enjoy using them, I don't see a reason why not. If you're looking for something competitively viable, I would definitely stick to Prove Me Wrong or higher. In fact, I would probably stick even a little higher than that. But once again, these Prove Me Wrong guys could be used on that niche team. Overall, guys, I did try to wrap up and reorder these top tiers. If you noticed a little bit of a change, that's because I did change it a little bit. Tried to give my thoughts, because it's impossible to break this down in like 3 specific tiers. I would like to have, like, you know, break down each tier farther, but obviously I am not going to do that, because then I have one Pokemon in each tier, and that just doesn't feel great, doesn't feel like an interactive thing to do. So once again, do I think Gardevoir is on the same page as Mega Titar? No, but I have to put them in the same list, because I do believe Gardevoir is better than these guys, right? Overall, really solid Pokemon on this list. Okay, tons of options, tons of Mega Evolution options, and I'm excited because back in the day we had like 4. Now there seems to be in this lower powered meta that we can actually use quite a fair amount. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if I played any of these top 3 categories out of regional. Alright, like, I could definitely see any of these guys being used at a regional, which is pretty good. And to some extent, you're probably going to see some of these guys as well, right? I think there's a lot of usable megas. This is the way I rank this tier list. Let me know your thoughts down below if you think I am horribly wrong or if I am amazingly correct. But let me know. Once again, guys, day one tier list. We basically have like 1.5 days that we're going off of right here. So everything I expect to change a little bit. The Gengar is going up there, though. The Floette's going to stay up there. The Charizard probably staying up there as well. Lots of good Pokemon on this list, guys. But with that, if you enjoy this type of content, please feel free to leave a like and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. And, of course, I really do appreciate it. But with that, I'm going to get on out of here. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will catch you all in a future video.